A lot of people have asked me why I moved to Mizoram in Northeast India. And there's a couple of reasons, but the simple answer is that I had a kid. Let me explain. Most mornings begin just like this. I'm on the left side of the bed, our son is in the middle, and then my wife is on the right side. And this dynamic is likely going to change pretty soon because my wife and I are expecting our second. She's in her third trimester now, but I could probably just stop the video right here because I feel like I've already won at this point. As Will Smith once said,
"This part of my life, this little part, is called happiness."
Now, the interesting thing about that scene is that he's actually getting a job here, whereas I have actually just done the opposite. A week ago, I quit my job. So there's that. And maybe that's a story for another day because I also want to tell you about my dogs, and we won't have time for both. So this is Summer. We call her Sum Sum. And then this is Asia. We call her Pup Ups. And so Sum Sum and Pup Ups and my son and I, we usually go for a morning walk together. And I used to actually carry my son in a chest harness, but now that he's almost 2 years old, he can actually walk himself, and also Asia apparently too. And it is a little bit nerve-wracking because there aren't a ton of footpaths in Aizawl. Like most Indian cities, it isn't really that pedestrian-friendly, which means that it can be dangerous for a toddler. Now, as a parent, I strongly believe that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I really don't want to coddle my son. Even at this early age, he does need to experience some pain. And this is kind of something that was passed down to me indirectly from my dad. He's a very adventurous guy. We did a lot of outdoor activities growing up and experienced our fair share of scraped elbows and knees. And that's how you learn at that age, right? Charlie Munger once said, "Show me the incentive and I'll show you the outcome." And pain is a very strong negative incentive. My son is able to walk with confidence and climb up and down stairs because he's experienced the pain of falling multiple times. And a lot of other kids his age, I've noticed, don't have this same level of confidence. Like this hill, for example. You can see how confidently he's going up it. But here's a video from when he was just 1 year old. So that's the end of my favorite part of the day, but there's still a lot to look forward to because now that I've taken my son and my dogs out, I'm going to reward myself with some coffee. And I used to make a big deal out of coffee. I would grind the beans myself. I would use a French press, but you know what? Instant coffee is kind of okay. It's really not that bad. And I add a little bit of lemon juice to make this an iced coffee lemonade. And then after coffee, I'll go and take a shower, brush my teeth, and get dressed for the day. And then after that, I have breakfast. I usually eat my first meal at some point after noon. And so I'm usually eating alone, unfortunately, or I'm eating breakfast while the rest of my family is eating lunch. And then, of course, anything that I don't eat goes to the girls. And then I clean my dishes and I head into my studio to pack up my laptop because it's time to head to the office now. And when I say office, what I really mean is a cafe, my favorite cafe. And of course, it's a lovely walk. Views like this are actually a dime a dozen in Aizawl. The entire city is built on hills. In fact, there aren't a lot of places in Mizoram that are flat. And people here are called Mizo. That's the name for people from Mizoram. It's actually a two-part word, Mizo. So mi means people, and nobody is entirely sure what zo means, but a lot of people think that it means highlands or hills. And then ram means land, and so we've got Mizoram, or land of the hill people. And you'll see some traditional Mizo clothing here on the right side. This man is wearing and I'm going to butcher this, but a thangtua kor, which is a culturally significant type of shirt. And one thing I love about Aizawl is the civility on the roads. Specifically, people queue up in traffic. They don't rush to get to the front of a red light, and they also don't honk their horns. You'll notice that here, as I'm walking, there aren't any honking noises, which means that while you're out and about, you can actually talk to people without needing to raise your voice. Like, for example, this woman here. Another thing that I really like about Mizo society is how equitable it is. People here are generally quite patient with each other. They're very easygoing and usually try to resolve conflicts peacefully instead of escalating to violence. And you'll actually see that here. I promise I did not set this up. So this individual suddenly changed direction and we bumped into each other, and his immediate response was to apologize. That was his instinct. And then we both just kept on walking. Even though the situation could have potentially escalated into conflict, it didn't. All right, now moving on, this is one of my favorite cafes in the city, and you probably can't even spot it yet. It's surprisingly hard to find. It's just this little wooden plaque on the wall, and then this tight stairwell going up into the cafe. But they do have very good coffee, good food, Wi-Fi, plug points, decent music, and most importantly, a spectacular view. Just look at this. And again, views like this are a dime a dozen in Aizawl, but I still can't get over the fact that I'm here, that I get to enjoy this every single day. It's really, honestly, just such a privilege and one of my favorite parts about being in Mizoram. Now, I am going to have to blur my screen and mute the audio for this small portion of the video because what I'm working on right now is currently in stealth, and I just don't want to give away any hints yet, but I'm incredibly excited to share more when the time is right. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my iced Americano and keep quiet about what I'm cooking up. My brother-in-law works nearby, and so he often picks me up on his way home from work. And I could just grab a bike taxi. They're everywhere in Aizawl, but I try not to stay out too late if I can avoid it. Otherwise, I really just don't end up getting a chance to spend a lot of time with my family before bed. And then on my way home, we have to make a quick samosa stop, very important stuff. And I was planning to get home by 6 for a meeting, but it looks like I'm gonna have to take this meeting from the road. It's about an upcoming hackathon that I'm participating in as a curator. And here's a little promo video in case you are based in Bengaluru and you wanna participate. So anyways, this is kind of the end of my day here, having some smoked pork and some spine gourd for dinner. And then it's time to help out with the dishes, make some popcorn, and we were gonna sit down and watch Squid Game, but then my wife had cravings for ice cream. And again, she's in her 3rd trimester, so this is non-optional. I'm just grabbing some ice cream and some Coca-Cola, and then it's back to our place, getting everything set up, even setting the accent lights for specifically Squid Game Pink. And then it's time to watch this TV show, wind down after what was honestly a pretty chill day in Aizawl. And I'm gonna be real with you all. I sometimes feel a little bit guilty when I have days like this. It felt too easy, you know? Like, everything I've achieved so far in life has been through hard work and late nights and pushing through a lot of imposter syndrome, being in situations that I'm not comfortable with. But here in Mizoram, I often feel like I'm just playing the game of life on easy mode. And I know that this isn't going to last for long. It never does. Rest and peace, I mean, these are rare things. I kind of like to look at life through this metaphor of hitchhiking, which is something that I did a lot of in my early 20s. And so moments like this are kind of like when you get dropped off by your ride at like an amazing spot next to a lake or a scenic little town, and you just get to take a break from the road and decompress. But inevitably, those peaceful moments get kind of boring, right? You start to crave the thrill of the unknown again. And so then eventually it's back on the road and back into the chaos. So yeah, that is the end of this vlog. It's been a really chill vlog, but I'm glad that you found me in this tiny little corner of the internet, and I'd also love to meet you. So, I mean, even if it's just virtual, I'd love it if you could say hi in the comments. I actually read every single one of them. And also, I just wanted to say too that if you're living this life and you're wondering like what's going on, life is really hard actually. People don't really tell you that when you're growing up, but it's really hard. And I just want you to know that you didn't come all this way for nothing. You are here for a reason, and you're actually right where you're supposed to be, even if it doesn't feel like that right now. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one.